Okie dokie, guys. We are back for some more. What was it, like day 15? Yeah, day 15. And for anybody that's going to be watching in the VOD later here, there is going to be no music playing. That's because right now I'm having to listen to a chill synth, radio as I go about doing this as a change of pace. So, background music is, going to be non-existent just to change things up. That's why I encourage you all to play on your own music while I go about doing things and whatnot. Anyways, so jumping into this immediately, giving you guys what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of homework by having to nip a nail in the bud. Nip a nail in the bud. I was getting close to what I was trying to say. It's something about having to like put the nail in the coffin or some shit. I was combining that and something else. So anyways, my homework was having to completely redo the mall. And this took me like all day Wednesday, basically. Not consistently busy, but like on and off, because like I was so, it was fine for like, it was fine for the earlier times. Hey there, Red Ender. It was fine when I was, crap, I now lost track. Gosh dang it. But anyways, okay, it was fine when that first iteration of the mall was like very spaghetti like, but now when I'm getting to the point of doing Megabase shit and it's like I need to revamp it, so yeah, this is what it is now. And the best way that I tried to design this here was that I happened to prioritize my most commonly used stuff to be up here first, of course being the inserters, belts, the various types of belts and pipes here, and to make sure like those get those things there first, I have them prioritized right here on my splitters. The next row is kind of like the some of the more like also regularly needed stuff, but probably not as well. Actually no, like they're all needed, but like third row is more like situational stuff and decorate or something that's kind of like high cost or something like that. I mean, like further we go down is more like to the more like costly, more odd resources that's being used and whatnot. It was kind of hard having trying to figure things out, like what I needed left. Like for example, I don't know, like stone here. Really, like the only use that I have for stone right over here is for rails and landfill. I decided to have like 3 or 4 of these things dedicated to landfill because I definitely need to make use of that stone up. Speaking of which, where are we at with this down here? $3.3K. Yep, pretty much that. Also is okay, I was gonna say, like, where was the coal at? It was almost non-existent there. What else? Oh yeah, there was also the odd case of the stone bricks. Looking at where it's at, it's all going down to 2 things here, that being this here. Yeah, the oil refinery, and then all these things that are going over to concrete, and then these here electric furnaces here. And so I went and easily plopped this down yesterday, and then everything's working out so far. I mean, I had to do some slight adjustments because it's kind of hard to memorize all this with having to put the enable conditions on each inserter and then having to do the logistic filters on all these things. But it's definitely a lot more cleaner now, and I'm really happy about that. And we're kind of going to be needing a little bit of everything as we are going forth into doing the Megabase stuff. So where are we at with... Okay, so this here looks fairly good here. Question is, what about steel, though? not really actively being used up right now. I don't, I think. See, like in terms of like sciences, like what's being backed up right now? Or yes, it's the blue science here. Okay, so engines are, there's not a lot of engines being brought over that way. And that one's also due to crafting here, so I say we need to go ahead and upgrade those here. In terms of research, as uranium ammo is about to be finished. Nice. So let's see, what I have queued up is that artillery, let's see, follower thingy, and then finally there's the atomic bomb. Then everything else after that just involves using space science. So that would mean eventually I'll have all non-repeatable research done, which means another achievement done. Good shit. So as far as I'm aware with all of this here, oh yeah, there's something that, you know, something I did passively off camera was having to replace all the modules here with tier 3s here. I guess because now there's not like a whole big like demand with this sort of stuff here. I don't know. How's this going here? Okay, so not all iron's being sent over this way. So something different I also did with the malls, that it originally had a dedicated spot for creating gears and green chips down here. Now I just pull them off of the main bus and drag them down here instead. And judging by like how much is being sent over that way, it's not really doing much. So it makes me wonder if I want to go about try something different with output priority. So that way it becomes more saturated, I guess, but I don't know if I'm splitting them correctly, because well, see, it's not eating up all the iron that's over here, so I think it's okay. See, like, gears now look a lot more... Now getting a lot more busy here, it seems. Because I think right now they're just being all consumed up a lot by... Well, I've now incorporated the blue variants of the belts now. Now, don't worry, not everything is going to be fully converted over to blue belts yet. Because that's going to take a lot. Especially when the majority of all this here is like freaking red belts. Of which I am curious how many... Let's see, how many like red belts is like around these parts here. 13k. Yeah, that's like, that's a no-go. Okay, so what's going to be on the agenda for right now? Because let's see, right now... Well, I'm very curious. I'm wondering if I just need to go about and to just add more like green chips to all this here, because yeah, because it seems that keep in mind that, well, actually, some of these do have the productivity 3s, but I think I kind of like did like some look on a calculator to see like how much is it like per second for like one of these things, and it's like, well, I'm actually getting less because I'm not pairing them up with beacons right now, and I don't have this all designed with beacons in mind yet. But because we're having to do Megabase, This whole thing with the main bus here, I don't think it's really going to be part of it yet. So it might as well just having to stay as is. In fact, if I wanted to start utilizing for other machines to utilize more stuff, I'm gonna have to take these out, actually. Because like on the one thing, we're not, the only reason we'd ever do, I think, productivity is either you are low on resources or you're pairing it up with beacons, which is neither in our case. Now, well, now that I'm doing this, now it's like, you see, now that I do this, now like copper's not really reaching over to the back end either. So like, what the shit? All right, maybe I should have left them in here. Yeah, because like now that it's taking its precious time having to like process all that, for these here to be sent over to the green chips, then more machines in the back have a better chance of doing all that. Also, how did this get here? I am now concerned. Why? Oh wait, I think that was left over from a little fudge up that I did sometime before. I basically had one of these here storage chests that didn't have a filter on it, and I was putting a lot of my intermediate products into it, and it clogged up my freaking main bus, and I had to clean that up. That was brilliant. So, well, as far as I'm aware with seeing all this here, well, then again, most of the gears is going down there, and it's more like passively making all the blue chips and stuff, so I say we turn that off. Not that iron's being very saturated elsewhere, it seems. Anyways, as for the agenda, well, I was gonna take a look at, increase in steel production, but my freaking cord's like all tangled up here today. All the cords, ugh. All the cords today. So I was gonna having to increase steel production, but the only real way that I could do that was having to put speed modules in here, and I do think that it's doing the job just fine, but there's already like a big buffer inside these things right now. So I forgot what was causing such a big intake on steel earlier. Well, because let's see, right now we have, basically we can use all types of sciences, I think. So, but right now it's blues that having a hard time keeping up. And now it's the case for this. Oh, I just happen to be right next to it. That's kind of odd. Well, here, let's go about having to request some of our regular stuff here, now that everything has been accounted for. But it's quite likely, by default, what we're going to be doing today is having to design our, designing our big rail system for our thing here, which I have laid out right here. I just need to figure out what's going to be considered a good size for all this here. Was I given my stuff yet, or what? I'll tell you, the first thing I'm going to have to go for research would have, well, for like infinite research is like robot working speed. I mean, there's also like mining productivity, but because the richness of the ores is quite larger, we don't really have to worry about that. And well, what's also the other like infinite stuff here? There's follower count, the artillery related stuff. Yeah, there's the worker speed, explosives. Yeah, the combat oriented stuff we don't have to deal with, since biters have not evolved at all. They're basically still the same thing, and they have not even like walked out anywhere. We'll eventually have to encounter them anyways. Especially when it comes to anything related to my achievos. Oh yeah, we need to get ourselves the inserters. Let's see, electric poles. Let's see, what other regular stuff would I need? Oh, yep, green wire. You always need green wire. See, I already requested lamps. Here, roboports. Get all the good regulars and going on. And going on. Yes. Yeast. I realize that through all these years, whenever I'm silly and I say yeast, and then I realized that, like, oh my god, it was taken from a Dexter's Lab episode. My subconscious is like it's been embedded in me, and I didn't even realize like where it came, why I keep saying it. And when I saw that episode again recently, that was for like a joke sort of thing. Because like Joe was making like a story about that episode where the freaking like audience like flies up to the stage because of a freaking animation like misstep, miscommunication. There was a segment with these animatronic mice, and one of them keeps going yes, and I've been doing it like unconsciously all these years. It's like, God help. All right, I just want to make extra doubly sure that I've gotten what I need here. All right, so yeah, this ought to do it with this guy here. Having a lot more pipes being made. Yeah, having a second one did the trick. Yeah, now it's creating a backlog of this, and now it should be doing its business just fine. All right. See, other things that we can go about doing is, I did say that I want to go continue having to get more of the, roboports just to fill out all the grids here. Because, like, hey, if I'm going to be building down a bunch of rails, I'm going to need a bunch of robots on my person to do all that nonsense. All right, because, like, well, what does it take having to, like, yeah, see, a bunch of low density structures here and blue chips. Just for that one. Then all the other stuff. Let's go about treating ourselves to another one of these here. Yeah, that's more than enough. Let's see, low density is here. 'Cause, 'here. 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 Steel plates, you say? Well, that ain't a problem. What else was needed? Batteries. I was debating whether or not to have batteries being made down there at the mall because, you know, there is the case for accumulators. So, in having to incorporate the frickin' solar panels for once. But I have not done such a thing yet. Alright. See, where are all the gears at? Oh, it's just further down here. We have the stuff to make 4 of them, apparently. Alright, just need more batteries here. Accidentally got some frames here. Can't read my inventory for shit. What did I do with them right there? I have small eyeballs. Alright, now we can go about having to make ourselves another one, which, if adding another one, that means that it gives me another 25 bots here. Of which I don't know where some of them could be hiding. Literally can be in any one of these. Well, let's see, there's one of those. You know, I bet they all have to be like sitting over here, right? After that big frickin' overhaul. There we go. Nice. 2 times over. Okay, so aside from having to go into the rail stuff, there's also the covarics that we can look into. Because like right now, the main thing of having to like working all of this stuff was just having to go about fueling our nuclear thing, right? But having to do in like this here normal method is doing fine on its own. But right now we have frickin' surplus of all these like inactive uranium that needs to be like taken care of in some way. And I think right here in this empty spot we'll have to do something about that here. So I'm having to think, because I've seen a couple designs when it comes to doing the covarics stuff, but the first thing that comes into mind is that like there's going to be like an arm that'll take out of the main chest whatever extras comes out of it, and whenever the chest is greater than 480, it pulls out one at a time. Specifically that because I don't want them to accidentally grab more than that. And then after getting the good stuff, what is it that it's used for again besides like atomic bombs and like probably other like your well, let's see. Because like I'm sure like having to like covarics will be like a good like sustainable way to like get uranium fuel, but the thing is that like this thing has been I was gonna say like we have a bunch of uranium from these here close by, and this started off at like at 1 million. So And this barely like moves by for the way it's going, and it's already like creating like a big like line of this like right here, and creating a warehouse of this stuff right here too. So yeah, like looking from the list here, definitely nuclear fuel is a very interesting option. Because then, like, you know, it'll be used to like fuel a whole bunch of stuff, especially trains. Because that'd be really freaking nuts. Guys, if we really were like messing around with freaking like biters right now, and having all of this here like unused uranium, definitely they're going to be used up to like create like freaking uranium ammo, you know, and feeding them all to a bunch of gun turrets surrounding the whole place. I would have to like go about doing another playthrough and having to deal with biters, because like I've been like avoiding them for like the longest time, you know. All right. Well, I guess of all the okay, so I guess steel production we won't have to worry about for right now. Yeah, because I think right now, what else we got? Yeah, we don't really have like a whole bunch of like throughput when it comes to, well, actually, I wonder. Apparently input priority is kind of like being weird here. If anything, it was supposed to be output priority for a good portion of that. See, was this a good idea though? Because eventually I'll have to turn back on the frickin' like rockets and shit like that, which means low density structures are gonna go bye-bye. Yeah, or the copper plates go bye-bye because of all the frickin' low density structures. All right, well, I say for right now, let's go about looking at designing more of the rail stuff. Phone buzzed at me. I shall check you later. Okay, so I think we need to go about having to take this off, because I do have, I think I have modified this a little bit here. I don't remember exactly what, so let me go about doing this here. Max robot 75, yep. Holy cow, that's a lot of power consumption for like for all of that. I clearly like overestimated power generation for these things here. But anyways, so what have I done different with these here things? Well, let's see. I think I made it so that grid positions like in relative and whatnot. But to show you what I did so far, go ahead and place this down while power is getting all eaten up. Actually, I don't know. It's more about the interaction between that and these rails here. When I have them like sitting next to each other. Let's see, because these ones should now have it properly named. Yep, stacker. That's what we want. So anyways, when it comes to interaction with like an intersection here, because we have this right here, right? It would probably help if I had like a freaking... If I had a train on me right now to having to demonstrate, but it has to do with oh, right. I need to get myself some freaking rails. Especially if I'm going to go about expanding out more of this here, but yeah, oddly the freaking blue science is the one that's kind of like taking its precious time here. Oh, they can have productivity modules in there, it seems, but it's not what I was thinking in my mind. Anyways, let's get our rails, and apparently I'm getting them by hand right now. Alright, so this thing's gonna get busy now. Thing is that gears is not being sent over here right now, so we need to put the blue stuff on hold for now. So I have all the other stuff having been worked on. Hell, I say give that upper priority to this here, so that's getting worked on even more. Up that, and I need to have trains on me to do some testing. All right, so anyway, so my issue that I'm kind of a bit concerned about when trying to design this is, you know, making sure obviously trains don't crash into each other, right? That's the obvious thing about, you know, rail signals. So when I see the design that I made right here, my immediate thought was, oh, try to put a chain signal between these two. I can't. It's too short. Compared to here, let's put up a different design here. So we have like this here, like four-way intersection here. So we have this right here, right? So we have, okay, so okay, so this is apparently part of this design, this here one on here. And then yes, okay. But anyways, yeah, they have like this one right here. And I think we might be in a bit of a pickle here. I really don't know if it's important. So let me, yeah, get the stuff down here. Let me do some testing. So let's go about getting one of these and plopping this one down. I don't have like any kind of like some type of fuel on me here. Here, go get these trees for me, if you please. Yeah, God forbid I've used freaking like trees for this shit, but anyways. Actually, better yet, we can just have him do things automatic right here. Because we can just tell it to having to go to a... Wait, why is it doing that? Why is it not able to do a direct right turn into this? That's odd. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, because obviously going in this direction here, and it can't go to that one or that one, of course. So, of course, I have that designed to loop around. But that one's going straight up. That's supposed to turn directly to the right. It's right. Instead, it loops around by the outline. Wait, why is it going there? Oh, it's probably because of the fact that it's going to Stacker, which is any of them. They're not uniquely named. Alright, so for the sake of this demonstration, we'll put an extra R at the end. Just to differentiate it. Yeah, that apparently is curving around. Do they not mesh together? Well, I guess this needs a rework. The intersection needs to have a rework. Well, because, like, either I scrap the U-turn design all entirely, or, you know, something else. See, that's kind of a little toughy part, isn't it? Alright. Alright, well, because, like, I want to have the intersection to, like, match, you know, the spacing in between all this, because, like, so far for what I have thought with this was, like, you know, we have, like, all these roboports that's sitting here in the middle and whatnot. Because, like, I want the idea of having those stackers sitting, you know, like, in the main line, kind of, like, off to the side, right? That's kind of like I was inspired by having to make here. Also, this was here, sitting here, apparently. Was there anything else? Okay. Okay, well. Well, let us try something else then. Because I would like the convenience of a train having to, you know, making a U-turn around, go over this way. But the convenience of having simply just turning like a simple 90-degree turn to the right, and it's doing a complete like loop around to do that. That's not what I was trying to do there. So how do we do that? I guess the intersection is going to appear to be larger if we're going to be doing that. Or something about the spacing here is just going to have to change. Well, let's take a look at the other rail for, I guess, a reference, or maybe perhaps even try to modify it to work with my rails here. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to actually create a copy of this. Because this one we want to go about having to modify it to be not snap to grid. So you can see what the spacing is like when, you know, when I don't have these here freaking stackers sitting right here. So that would mean I need to like somehow having to like scale that up somehow. Build your own 4-way 4 rail requires that many rails. I bet it did. Yeah, like when I have like a specific like rail thing in mind, because like mine's like made in mind for like 1-4 trains, or like this here thing here. So yeah, I just go from there pretty much. So having an idea like this, but having to scale this up somehow is, that's the only thing I'm thinking of, but I would prefer it if I want to try to do it smaller. Because like here's the like design that I had thus far, which is a very ugly U-turn design here. But the reason why it didn't work was that like when I had another set of tracks like this upwards, and I had a train sitting here on this line, and I want to make it turn to the right to go up, it actually did like a big loop around and then went up. I didn't want that. Use 7 to 8 trains. Oh, use it at once without tapping on the brakes. That must be really well designed to make it so that it doesn't ever have to do that, but I'm not that giga-brained yet. So yeah, so like my intersection design was of course having that freaking like U-turn in mind. So for the convenience of like having the train having to like loop around and then go over to this other lane here, right? But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, because it's either that or they have to like circle around like a big like grid in order to get somewhere instead. I don't know. Another person's design, built your own, then rebuilt it for like 4 more times. Yep, a lot of refining. Lots of refining. That's why I'm having to, you know, kind of take a look at this now, because like now I want to have to do like proper like right and left hand turns. You know. Big blocks. All right, so let me have like this setting up here so that I can always have a dead trunk is in the way. Well, get out of here. There. There, now we can just have a look at that for a reference here and try to match it up to like what we have here. Right, so we obviously have like one curve that hits here. Well, we obviously need to have like one of these here, right? Well, not yet, at least. And there's enough space to, well, Again, let's have another look. Cease. That's not meshing. Well, instead of copy and paste, let me actually like do it manually here. Because if we started off with like a simple curve right here and then hooked it up from there. And of course we try from like all down there. Well, I mean, I guess I could. Is it me or do I don't know. Like I was trying to like say something in matter of pride, and it's like, well, like I don't want to like completely use someone else's design by having to shrink the rails to match this here. But like, oh man, I don't know. It's something I realize, like, you know, like more I play, then it's like, well, because I kind of feel like, as you're starting out, then like you may start feeling like Blueprint dependent on somebody else, but then as you get more confident, then you'd be like, I want to do my own shit. So I think I'm getting to that transitioning point. So all right, so if we were having to make it somehow shrink into that, well, we need to see like how far it'll curve into that. Let's see. Flip. Just do a manly Wix. There you go. And see how things go from there. Now, would it actually fit? I don't I don't think so. Oh god. Well, here, let me get a mental idea of like where that straight line is. So I saw it sitting like right here. And then another one roughly here. Yeah, okay. So I need to somehow have it to give it enough space to make it go into there. But let's see. May have to require like, you know, like some sort of spacing on this. Oof. I don't know if it's possible. All the finagling. Oh god, it's so bad. Oh Jesus. All right, what if it like goes down? Well, no, well, that's god, it's so bad. All right, let's up, down. No, I think it does have to be a custom intersection. At least from what I see. Oh, geez. So it's something I forgot about with the intersection is that, you know, the option of it having to go straight ahead, right? So there's always that. We're on our second to last research for this one. That's not non-repeatable. Now, where was the starting point for this? Was like right here, I think. Yeah, let's do a segment of this here. Train and a half worth of distance between two intersections. Let's see what we can do here. And good. Okay. Well, because I figured, because like, see, what did I have right here? Well, not that, but this. Okay, apparently I had like these here, regular ones here, and then there was one down there. Yeah. So obviously, if it was crossing through here, yeah. And down we go here. So we're getting a basic outline of this. Let's talk more about two of the BP intersection you have. BP. Wow, I do not know my terms today. Blueprint. Ah. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to scrap the U-turn idea because I think that was made it weird. What was, see, what was this here? Oh, wait, that's the long one here. Wait, what? See, that was... I guess it was like that by default for like, if it like goes like two ways or something by the way it looked. But mine's like, you know, the good old like right side there, left side on that one. That goes down and all that. Each input has 3 outputs. Well, you got to keep in mind that the one that you're staring at right here, this is not mine. This is from somebody else's. Just give me a general idea. Cause let's see, because if I was like going right here, down, straight up, okay. I just need to, my brain need to connect the dots here, because complicating it. This is my second playthrough, by the way, so it's like, let's see, engineering training. All right, so it's just a matter of having to somehow, So I tried to do like, see, we need to try to get a good curve back onto here. Let me try something here. If I was to rotate, flip. Well, here, let me go about doing this one first. That way I'll know that where the rails meet up. Then with this. Then I can go from here to get it up there somehow. Oh, Jesus. I think we might have an issue here. Or not. No, I just need to just keep going with it. I bet this looks like uneven when I'm like done with this somehow. Oh, Lord. So like the only reason why like all my rails is like being like designed like this is because of these freaking like stackers that I have here. And there's like enough space in between for like something like, I don't know, like a RoboPort. But then again, there's space right here. So I don't know if I would ever need to have that space in between. You know, all that sort of stuff. So let me humor myself in having to... See, would I ever want to have, like, all this being closer to each other? Like that? Well, I mean, they're resting here, so it's not an issue, I guess. I've apparently forgot to get the rest of this here. Maybe I really should try to design it like this. That way the rails can just, you know, generally appear smaller. So that would mean, would that work with that other freaking design here? It's not symmetrical, so I say no. Alright, I guess this here idea was out of the way then. I guess I'm going to commit with the rails being a little bit closer here. Three weekends to build. Well, I think Nightbot's gonna have a hissy fit if you do that, so, but I think I still might be able to, like, see the link that you send me anyway, so if it yells at you, don't worry about it. Alright, click to show. Okay, here it is. Oh, wait, it's Imager? Hold on a minute. Ah, shit. Okay, so, bad news. The VPN that I use does not like Imager. and as soon as I turn it off, this stream turns off. So it's like, I can't, now I can't. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Oh. We tried, but oh well. So wait, I had this thing right here in the middle. Was it really? Yeah, maybe it is needed. Let's see. All right, let's copy. Let's see, relative to. See, and that one's scrapped because it's Not part of the same size here anymore. All right, let's give this another go here. All right, straight up and down this way here. And straight down. All right, so now the idea of having to like turn this down to here, is this going to be any more favorable? Well, and by favorable I mean somewhat symmetrical. I guess I just have to do that simple drag then. Now let's see if I can try to copy that one specifically and trying to, you know, somehow mirror that, you know. I think we're getting somewhere. All right, now it's just a matter of having to like do the whole freaking like signal setup. All right, so one lane at a time here. Let's see here. See, I'm gonna go ahead and have, whoop, big rock in the way. Get out of here. Just gonna have to sit in this right here in terms of like reference. Although those things don't need to be there. It's not that I'm incompetent of knowing like where their signals go. It's just like there's just a lot to like memorize. All right, so the way that guy originally had it didn't really have like a signal at the end, which let's see, how else did he do it? So it's right there at the very start of that. It probably doesn't matter anyways. Well, let's continue on with this madness then. So now for the one that goes straight ahead. See, now the one that curves downwards this way. Yeah, I know you're all blinking because there's like more other stuff to put. Alright, see what other end to look at here, because like that one goes straight up here. You use the same book as you do? Yeah, it's one that I say, does it like give credit like who made this here, or I know there's like some stuff in here that I seen as like as a reference here, but yeah, because I use some of those things for like right down here for all this other stuff here. Well, that stuff I made on my own. Yeah, but things like this here, like junction there and here as well. Yep, same one. Ah, all right. Sounds good. I gotta play more like chill synth more often, it seems. I've debated whether or not having to like start off with like using 4 lanes or something, because I don't know how incredibly busy it's going to be. Plus, this is more for the goal of having to complete the Chivos. And I figured getting to like somewhat of a mega base sort of thing, having to like speed up the, you know, the green chip related stuff. Who knows, maybe I'm overthinking things, but it's good practice nonetheless. All right. So I think we, yeah, dealt with this going from here to there. Now we need to focus on another end somewhere. I would prefer having to do it like sort of like clockwise sort of way, so actually wait, if it's going into here, shouldn't that start with this? Wait, oh no, yeah, that one starts with the thing there. I wonder if I need to like give like some sense of space between the main portion and the intersection. It's like that one has like a rail signal here, couple tiles, and then it starts to split off. Well, I hope it doesn't get to that point for me, at least with having to complete my achievements, so. And if I regret it, then it's like, oh well. Were you using like nuclear fuel with those like big trains there? Because like if it's that big, then it's like, well, it gotta have the speed to compensate for like how long it is. Yes, nuclear, of course. That was another thing on the agenda for me to do, was having to like set up like a Coverix thing, because like we have like the extras. Whoops. We have like all the like enough stuff in here to. Wow, get off of my freaking cursor, you dang game. Yeah, we have like over 100 like spares like right in here, so could do it at some point. A mod to give like more train breaking levels. Ooh. Oh, so like when you say more train breaking levels, something like akin to that of kind of like the repeatable research stuff, but for breaks. Sounds pretty good. All right. Anyways, yeah, to answer my thing here, yeah, I'll just leave a thing right there. See how things go. Yeah, let's go ahead and start with like this one here. Yeah, when you get to the point where like early game is like too slow for you, then you have to do something about it. Oh, I'm sure that's gonna hit me as well at some point. Though to be fair, I do want to mention this, is that since it's kind of like what I like to call like my home game, I do want to go about messing about with like other games still. As of lately right now, I can't put my freaking controller down playing Tears of the Kingdom, and I want to stream that, but it's like, I've already started. And so, I don't know how much anybody would be interested in that. I would. It's like, it'd be kind of like one of those cases of like, it's a game that's meant for me to enjoy, and then whoever shows up is be like, okay, neat. But yeah. All right, so I think that part works. Rotation speed was what? Okay. Hold on. An inserter mod that okay. I need to have a comparison. So okay, so fast inserter for comparison, 864 rotation per second. Yours is in the millions. What? Oh wow. Holy. Whew. Have mercy. That is amazing. Oh, when that day comes when I'm messing about with mods, because like it's kind of part of the reasons why I'm having to do most of the achievements aside from the time sensitive ones, just so I can get those out of the way and then go straight into mods just to see how ridiculous they can be. So, oops, hang on a second. I did a bit of an oopsie here. That was not it. I need to change this desktop here. My keybinds on my mouse was okay. Did it not change that? What the hell? Okay, something broke here. Bruh. Do I have to manually do this shit? Okay, to explain what's going on here is that wait. No, it is on default. Why has it not applied it? Game or not game, mouse. So what I have here is that like my mouse, like one of my buttons is bind to the escape key, and whenever I play old school RuneScape, there's an option having to like hit the escape key to like leave like an inventory and shit like that. So when I have it bind to my mouse, it does that. So apparently it does this now. Wait, what? Wait, what? Hold on. That's something different. That goes to the inventory, not the like settings screen. Like what changed? Oh, it went for oh. Was that a default option? Or did I do that? I never knew. Okay, I never knew that. Anyways, with a mod that makes sites larger, mine was set to ×2, and 6 of these things could like unload a train. So that explains why you have like so much trains and having such a big train network, like with like 4 rails for something like that then. Wow. That's thinking big and crazy. Crazy big. Anyway, so where are we at with setting this up? So I went up here and did both directions here. What's next? So we now do this side starting here. Here we'll go straight. This one curves down this way, and this one now curves up to that. Let's see, and now this side here. And when this will go straight down. Got that. This one goes to, wait. Wait, no, that's right. And this one curves down over this way. Well, the signals are not flashing, which means they're connected. So I must have done something right. All right, I think I might have solidified the intersection design. I just need to go about doing some of the trimmings here. I may or may not have to like add those parts back in, but we'll see. I know like some of the rails here at the ends could like use some without, because like I already have like one sitting right here and here in my base design here. So if I had that in mind, I would have to omit this. See, that one's already sitting there. I omit this. I had one sitting right there, so that would mean it'd be right up there, so I think I nailed this. So let's... Actually, that one is part of that. Alright, snapped grid relative, which... Nah, I say that's fine. Now for the sake of testing... For trains coming into the intersection, have the rail signal and then a chain where the current signal is. So in this case, I would have like a chain signal right here. Well, because like I remember the saying, like chain in, rail out. And whenever it comes to anything of like a intersection or a crossing. Okay, so maybe in this case I would have to do a thing where like here, let's go ahead and trim this out. So maybe I would have to go about adding like additional rails in between each thing. So like 1, 2, 3 to give it some time here. Oop. All right, so we won't need that anymore. All right, so what I have here in this two-way here is that we have like I like how I was trying to lift my finger and point to it, but kind of odd here, but well, here let's just plant one down here. I know what you're saying, that there's something off about with the design that I have so far, so I'm trying to like get like something here from the blueprint that I'm trying to have as a reference here. Yeah, because like this here spot right here is like the two-way thing. And then it goes into a junction. So like what snippet of that is different here? Yep, so there's like that there. And then there's this. So yeah, a little bit of the starting point with that rail signal right there. There's, wait, hold on. I'm trying to recall like which way is like left and right. Ah, it was going over there. See, signals are on the right. Sorry, sometimes trying to interpret text just means like brr in my head, so give me a moment. So when you say having to stop at the change signal here, so like in this case here, like if it stops like right here because it's reading the signal that's like, for example, like up here, right? So, but if I had one this right here, it's not going to stop there. It'll go straight to the next one and stop right there, causing a freaking clog. So preferably stopping a little bit more earlier, like right here, is okay-ish. All right, so with that in mind, so what you would do is you put the chain, then put a standard signal, one signal square next to it. So in this case, you mean this and or whatever this was sitting here by default. So like it was sitting right here, and then this would be sitting here. Is that what you mean by that? Oh, it's also getting warm in here. Oof. Can't take my thing off here. Getting plenty warm. All right, right before the intersection. Okay, so I guess like that then. Let's see, and then it's that there. Let's see, this one is. Oh, if it's sitting this far ahead, then that's like a 1.5, which defeats the purpose of this here, though. I've not really placed my signals in a proper distance for some things. So if you had that, you would have 2 standard signals and then the chain? What, you mean like this? Oh, to make up for this? Well, that's kind of a little bit odd there. Huh. Yeah, because when we look at this here, there's like a little block here then. Is having like these here like 2 rail signals so close to each other like to make up for the fact that I have one sitting right here? Because I can just relocate this. Or I don't know. Just keep it there? Okay. I guess just have it there for the safeties. So now to having to mirror this onto other ones here. So let's see. We had this sitting right here. That's part of the design here. So we take basically that and mirror that here. And I don't think we have to worry anything about it going outbound. So other than that, I think we're golden then. Because then we'll be on to something. Now trains will stop outside the intersection if the path is not... Wait, what? You're good? Oh, okay. It's like... you were like following up saying like... I was like, okay, now your trains are going to stop outside. Well, no, I'm just... Again, me reading text is always like slow for me. Pardon me. All right. Delete that. And there's our brand new one. 4-way. Intersection and skip rope with it and continue living where you do now. All right, now we need to, I guess, take a look at the, where we're going to fit in, like, roboports and, like, the big electric poles into all of this. Especially if I'm also wanted to throw in the, I'll say, so obviously we want to go about probably like a roboport in the center, or is there, like, a different idea to, like, placing roboports around the place? Because I always thought they were just placing, like, inside, so... See, now the weird thing is that it's going to look asymmetrical when I do this shit, which is why I thought about having space in between these here rails here, but too late now. Not unless I can place them just far enough. Oh god. I don't think I... Place and... Oh, can we do it? We can! Ooh, just barely. So the only thing that would be uneven would probably be like the big electric pole sitting off to the side here, but if it fits, it sits. Holy shit, though. See, now night vision's kind of getting in the way of things here. Train stops in the way. Apparently. See, now I need to get an idea of the spacing for the big electric poles here, so we need to get ourselves another one of these. And they look asymmetrical. Psst. I'll take note of that. I mean, I've only recently added in the night vision thing on here because, I don't know, visual clarity for some people's. But I can see how it'd be kind of disorientating to know, like, when I'm trying to place things and whatnot, so it's a little messy there. I think these here could use some spacing away from center. But then again, it does need to have, well, still needs to have to power up those roboports still, so. I think this could just sit right there, and then this here, of course. Just having to get this here, no. See, right about where it cuts off. Night vision hurts the eyes? Ah, okay. Huh, I thought the night vision thing was part of the thing. I guess it was a toggle in the settings here. Is it not? Okay, well, I guess just gotta remove it out then. Besides, we need to go ahead and install some lights on this here too, so. Apparently that's what we're doing today, is just having to do a bunch of rail design. While research is slowly having to, like, get to the very last thing done that's non-repeatable. Here, let me try taking this off so I know where the edge is here. Oh, I think we might be okay with this here. Now it all depends on, like, two-way design of, like, how far, like, all this is spaced here. Here, let's go and place down like a set here. See what the max distance between those are. And see where they sit here. Train stop is in the way. Alright, sit up. Yeah, problem is that they fall out of sync, so I would have to like throw in like a third one. Perhaps not a... Everyone kind of sit near that one a little bit. That would sit there, and then this would sit snug right here. So now when I go about doing this here, that would follow it up. Okay, guess we got that one settled. Gosh, we're about like an hour and a half in, and I'm like hungry already. I didn't really eat a big lunch, so I guess that was my fault. All right. Okay, fine. I guess we're gonna do things a little bit differently then. Now, just out of evenness, should I do it for the other side? Kind of feel like we should. I mean, I mean, it would be all up to me, but like, or maybe, nah, never mind. I mean, like, probably like one of these days it probably would bother me, and I probably will edit in later, but for all I know, I probably got this nailed down, so I just need to, you know, update the design then here. Because they have the robo ports and all that stuff in mind. And we're back to this. Oh. We are playing on basically a peaceful world, by the way. I say basically because, like, you know, well, for one, there's no pollution, no expansion, you know, all that pussy shit. As I am a slow learner. Ooh. Yeah, some of this looks, yeah, a little off center here. No, that's the y-axis. Whoop. Oh, I pressed buttons. Okay, I think it's width that we want to deal with. Oops, no, I don't think we have to do that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, because right at the rail edge here that we want here. Dollar way. Well, hopefully we got that nailed down then. Alright, because now from there, we need to decide how we want to go about expanding out. Because the thing is that, well, like, a lot of this stuff is, like, you know, going north, so I figured we follow that up with having to throw, you know, trains around here. So what I would think... problem is, though, my design does not have landfill, like, taken into account, so I don't know how I would try to mess about with that. Like, adding that on somehow. Oop, yeah, get rid of this there. So once we've, like, kind of, like, determined what size the cubes are going to be, which, again, is really all dependent, like, on the length of the rails. Of course, our first thing is we need to think about is, the smelters. Doing a whole bunch of smelters and decide, like, where our ore stuff is going to be collected from. Because I see 13 million there. Starting with looking at iron. May have to, you know, having to, like, diverge off of here, having to go up here into this here territory, which involves having to shoot up the place there, apparently. Let's see, down there, like, for, like, well, actually, well, oh yeah, there's, like, a freaking bugs there, too. That was our usual stuff here. Actually, no, there's, like iron right here. Like, I forgot, it's, like, all sequestered in the trees. There's a lot of richness to the deposits, by the way. Like 150%, I think. And we do have copper right here, so that's within good distance on that one. Okay, so if I was to mess about with this here, well, probably best to, you know, turn that off for a moment, just so we can get ourselves some sort of visualize thing. Let's see how much big of a space it is for, like, one big cube. Oh, that one's kind of like reaching down there a little bit. All right, so I guess we'll go up. Not getting a demonstration now, are we? If everything's in the way. All right, let's try down here then. Yeah, so if we did ourselves, like, one big dealy bopper. I like my words. All right, so we are working with this big of a workspace here. And if we want to get a size reference to say something like smelters here, I guess. Well, it's improperly sized, so let me... Because I figured what I could probably do... See like the case for iron, I guess? Well, we'll do something like this. Well, maybe if I, you know, if I moved them up. Well, another thing I have to take into consideration is like where like the loading places for some of these. So this would kind of just roughly give me like, you know, like this much smelting space if I wanted to. But if I wanted to be a bit more modular, you know, I could go about having to like snip this off and continue out to the right, you know, still give a sense of like being modular with some of these things here. But that's the sense of scale that I see here. But we have yet to commit, so... Alright, so it's all off the map. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. So we're over 50% done with the atomic bomb, so that's... Oh, okay. Yep, I don't see a backlog of like science on any of this stuff here now, so I'm wondering, is there anything starving here? Oh, well. Well, it has the stuff. It's just slow. Wonder if it's time to have to go by having to upgrade those things then. As soon as it does, it probably will become a problem. And another thing to keep in mind is that, like, once I've researched the last thing, then everything else is just going to involve space science. Oh, we're actually now getting a backlog of the blue science now? Yellows are the ones that's lagging behind. That one doesn't actually need to be there. Oh, of course, there's a problem with frickin' red chips. There always is. At least it has to involve the... okay, hold on, Petroleum. Why are you doing that? Let's see, what are things going on here? So you're barely getting by. Is all of this running at full force here, or what? Well, light oil's not being used up as much. There's a lot of light oil. Wonder if we need another case of this here then. The ratios for all this is not correct. It was initially fine, but then I had to like increase it. Wait, what the hell? Oh. Well, I'm glad I noticed. Wait, what the hell? No power. Shit. How did I not notice that? Hey, can I grab the shit today? Okay, there we go. Okay, was there any other roboports I don't have anything powered here or what? Actually, that one's kind of spaced apart here. That needs to be a little bit closer. Oh, good thing I caught that. There it goes. Now it's going to bring the rocket fuel over. Not that this thing was like being in use all the time. All right, I say it's good time to get a step up and have a little bit of a break. So we shall be back in just a moment to continue on with I guess deciding like what the Megabase is gonna look like. When did I hit that button where I was constantly smiling? That was embarrassing, but probably fitting, I guess. Always have to do things with a smile. Anyways, be back in a moment. Okay, so as I was on my break, I should probably go about making an important save here because see, we're gonna write down before trains because I do have a feeling that there's probably going to be some thing I need to take into consideration for trains and whatnot. That being potentially having to include circuit networks in all this, because I wasn't sure like how train behavior is generally going to be. Because I have looked into things such as wait, what the oh wait, that's the iron thing that I haven't saturated with. I like how I had like 4 lanes of iron, but it's not being like used for anything. So anyway, because I have been looking at like some things such as logistics train networks, but I think that's just a mod. So I don't know if there was like similar behavior that can also be done with in vanilla, and there was like some sort of weird ass bullshittery with circuit networks. So I have not really fully looked into it to see like how much that could be done with that. So it does seem to be a bit ridiculous, but I think something simple as just having to define like how many of a certain thing that needs to go where, and then when it's not needed, it goes to a stacker to wait until it needs to be called upon again. That part I'm not sure, like they say you can do it better in vanilla. Yeah, I have like I said, I haven't really fully looked into it to like what goes into that circuit network sort of bullcrap, or do I even have to bother going into like the freaking nightmare of figuring that stuff out, because I have not fully understood the whole thing with combinators yet. I mean, I kind of roughly see what they're getting at, but with me having to like take parts of it and invent some new stuff on the fly for like my own personal use, like that's something else. That'd be tough to pull off. Sorry, my computer was having a seizure. Give me a moment. I don't know what is it with my computer having to like do that momentary thing of a seizure. You probably heard that like both visually and audibly, but it kind of does that at least once, or probably like only once a day. I really don't know what causes it. This only happened when like I had to get myself like a new like CPU and motherboard after the frickin' like PC dying in like last year in July. So that was sad. But yeah. Also, I see a lot of these things are saturated, which is mostly done, it seems. So yeah, we're full like on those like on all those blue variants here. It's not definitely not enough to like to replace everything, but like more like on a small scale. Probably like for the case of like when I go about making those mega bases and such. There, I just want to see like what activity is like how's all this stuff here? Oh, looks like stone is fully done here. Well, then let's go about simplifying that up. Sorry, it's supposed to be output priority to the right. There we go. I always keep reading that wrong. Oh shit, Spidertron, that's right. That's gotta be a thing I gotta make at some point too. Ooh, what the hell's going on here? There's like a little like sprinkling of stone being done here. Oh, whatever. It's meant for landfill anyways. Anyways, there was a case of looking to like figuring out like train behavior when it comes to it. So let's see. So because obviously we want to have like trains haven't been scheduled to. Well, let's take a look at this guy for example here, which is going over to copper. So like it's just like two simple things, which is pick up and then deposit. But then there's like the additional like instruction, that being the stackers that I have like in between and along the main lines, right? So that would mean having to add another station, in this case stacker. Well, I don't have an option for it yet, but let's do it for say like this. It's not connected to oil, so we're fine on that. So what would determine the weight condition on this? Because like it would have to like start doing its automatic thing again when it's needed. So that would have to be circuit condition, yes. So that would mean I would have to add, circuit, those green wires along the stuff, green, red wires, whatever wires I need. And then I think it tries to determine, I guess, like the amount of stuff that I have over at a certain location. And when it goes under it, it'll tell it to start going into gear and then repeat the whole process. Good thing I thought of this ahead of time. So I guess we're doing more design then, apparently. Now the thing is that, like, ooh, hold on. I mean, just for added flexibility, I should probably throw in like red wires into the mix. All right. So anyway, that's how I would imagine what the stacker behavior is going to be like, is through circuit conditions. So yeah, when we have stuff like this right here, now I only imagine I probably want to use it. Only have to deal with like one thing of a wire through here. Have to work on your spider to make it worthy of my ride. Yeah, because like, well, for one thing, trains won't get you now. It's always a nice thing. Anyways, so I think see, let's send to train. Sends the contents of the circuit network to the train so they can be used for weight conditions. Ah, so yeah, that's what I want, right? But there's also read train contents and limit. Well, we're not doing that because it's always going to be set to 1. Reads the number of trains going to this particular train stop. Okay, so if... Wait, no, I don't... Should this be connected here? No, I think it's only like when I go over to places like over at the like ores and stuff, right? Because those are the ones that need to be sending the signal from the contents within the chests. You know, like say for example, like iron ore here is like below a certain amount, then it would wait, no? Wait, yes. So and I would have like this long freaking like circuit network where ultimately it's connected right here, but then when it is connected to over here, it gives a signal to the train that's set here, I think, maybe. Yeah, it says contents of the circuit network to the train so they can be used for weight conditions. So that would mean if I had... sit the other way. So if I had it sit right here... And we add a weight condition for circuit and all that. And in this case of like, you know, if iron is less than a certain amount from over here, then it would get that signal, and then it would start the stacker to, like, you know, resume its thing, pretty much. But the thing is that if I have, like, say, like 3 trains that has the same schedule, and the circuit network goes off for like all 3 of them, but I only have like 1 train sent to, you know, to get the iron and then drop it off, is only 1 enabled. That's the thing. I have not really thought of that. It's like, what would happen if, like, there was like multiple trains that's simultaneously doing it? Because like if there's like going to be multiple trains doing it, it's going to be like multiple trains on the line, most likely on the main line, and not really at like waiting stations adjacent to like where the iron's going to be picked up. Then again, if I have 1 train enabled to a train stop, it's only going to send 1 train over, right? So it shouldn't be doing multiple. I may have to like do some testing off camera to see if that's true. Just to make sure. So because of that, I can't really say if I'm fully confident having to like make this yet. That's going to be some homework for me to do. Unless y'all are okay with me having to like swap over to a different save to do blueprint work. Did anybody mind about that? Because like, I could. Manually stopped. Yeah, because again, like if the schedule for a train that's being sent to do the action and it's enable like 1 train to go to a location, it should only send 1 train and not multiple if the circuit condition like goes off, where it could technically go off to multiple trains if I had them, which there will be. So that's interesting. You know what? I am going to look into this here. All right. All right, so again, Megabase before trains here. All right, give me a moment while I go about having to switch things up here. I'm going to be going to an alternate save where I do some blueprint work, so we're going to do some testing here. I mean, like, having to do the Megabase with the rails is like the next thing I need to be doing. And if I can't really do it without doing proper testing, I don't want to be doing it going full idiot on this, so. Anyway, so blueprint work. So this is like my alternate save that I've been doing here, which I did for my freaking mall setup here, which doesn't really need to be here anymore. Oh, good. Okay, so let's go about doing some testing here. All right, so that being All right, so we have this. And we'll go ahead and yeah, jut this out. So we have a thing for the stacker here. Let's also get the intersection here. I apparently have this stuff here too. All right, because let's see. Something I realized I should also be making is like a different type of like junction or something, but oh well. All right, so we have this. Just pardon me, I'm just being blind today. Yeah, let's just go about for like making like the full square for this. Besides, this would also give like some idea of like how the trains are going to behave throughout all this if all the signals were done correctly. For all I know, they probably weren't. All right, so let's go about setting one up right around here. Oop. There we go. All right, so that's where the trains are going to sit. If it fits, it sits. So. All right, so let's go about making... Well, of course. Let's have a thing where they kind of like, you know, bridge off of here, right? Except I probably did not match that one correctly. There, I think that's it. All right, so let's get some examples here. So we have iron pickup. That'll be our example here. I'll be sure to add the signals in just a moment. Then iron drop off. And there's only one of those for limits here. All right, fuel. All right, so in our case right now, I do have rocket fuel. Testing, testing. Okay. All right, so the idea is that it's going to pick up iron, followed by drop off, then finally stacker. All right. All right, so I would imagine it would be... What do you mean? Oh, there you go. Okay. You know, just out of full behavior with how their stackers might respond to this, we'll do it to all available ones here. Except not all of it is like going fully around. That's why we need to have like those things like in the blueprints ahead of time. All right, looks like green ones are fully going around and they're connected to all the train stops. All right, so we need to go about doing ourselves a little bit of a sample here. So we need to take a look at the infinity chest or whatever. It's like part of this here. What the hell? Music. Super fuel. Nuclear fuel that lasts pretty much forever. Oh. Well, what's it like compared to the other ones? It's supposed to represent nuclear fuel then. Well, I guess in the in the case of testing, then we could drop it and use one of these then. Sounds good to me. Here, let's see about telling it to go over here. Nope, except it's, I didn't tell it to wait. Manual. Alright, back it up. Alright, that'll have to do. Alright. Except I don't want you there. Alright, let's get ourselves those infinity loaders here. And of course we tell that the iron. Alright, so now it's doing that whole malarkey. Alright, so right now it's on manual. And of course it's filling it all up. And we are having to do the same thing basically over there as well. Except I didn't get the freaking stackers here. There we go. See, now the difference being is that they're all reverse. Bell. Alright, now let's give it another try here. Now, do they have basically some type of void thing so that items are voided and destroyed and whatnot? Oh, we could probably just use storage chests here. So if by default it should just go ahead and remove anything that goes in there, right? So in this case, iron. Steam engine. Yep, okay. So it does get rid of that. Exactly the demonstration that we need for this. Wait, but the problem is that, like... Well, here, the problem with this is that, like, yeah... What we're trying to do is trying to see, like, what the behavior of the train's going to be, like, when these chests specifically are full. So we want to go about... linking all of these up here to there. So yeah, let's go about, like grabbing an inventory of that. Dropping in there, and it should tell me... Yeah, signal says 1.9k, so excellent. Alright. Alright, so what should happen is that when it goes to a stacker, it has a weight condition based on the circuit condition of this iron ore. And right now, in combination of all of these here, which is 4,800, right? And there is 24 chests. So right here is that... Okay, well, I didn't really need to specify the top amount we make, but, like... If it's equal... Well, how can it be less than 0, actually? Yeah, it just needs to be, like, straight up 0, pretty much. So when it's pick up, yeah, we need to get the rest of it full cargo and then empty cargo. And then it'll go to the stacker. And it'll have to wait for the signal saying that, oh, hey, iron is 0. Go ahead and repeat your process, pretty much. Which means we can actually go about having to add this in because we're waiting for like all the contents in the chest to be, in these here specific chests to be 0. So I guess with that in mind, let's take a look at the testing. All right, so it curves around and it goes over here as planned. Now what it should do is that afterwards it'll go to any, to the nearest available stacker, which is probably going to be this one right here. And it's going to wait on the signal before it goes out. And that's what's going on right now, is just waiting for these here chests to read 0. Apparently still doing that one. Alright, let's see the magics. So you're watching this here deplete. This little guy right up here. And... there it goes! Ah, yay! Okay, now we need to do the same thing with multiple trains and see what happens. See, that's the important part, because we need to see like how they're going to behave when there's multiple trains with the same instructions. All right. All right, let's have ourselves like another train that's like, you know, that's sitting like right here. Oh, it immediately depleted. Yeah, that's right. It was like a little bit of a lag time. In fact, let me, in order to give it a bit of a buffer, let's use fast inserters on this one. So that way it takes longer for it to deplete the inventory. Yeah, basically infinite. Let's see, because we have like 1, 2, 3, 4 stackers around the place. Pretty much. All right. Oh, that's not it. Well, let me get more trains in place here first. Before I start giving it more instructions here. And all I can do right now is just having to shift, click, and all that stuff on repeat when we're all set for this. All right, so now I just need to find... Okay, that's the current train here, so shift right click and left, left, and left. All right, so they all got the same instructions here. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that one goes first apparently, because I guess that's because that's the nearest one. Interesting. See, that one's being currently loaded up. Is another one going to be sent over this way? Or is it only because there's only one available? They can only allow like one train here. Oh, it says it's not set to automatic apparently. My bad. All right. Now when it starts to run out, we're gonna see what happens with the trains here. This might be interesting with the way things are figured out here. This is gonna be very funny if all this breaks. Okay, so this one, destination full. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing a little text pop up saying like destination full. The hell? Oh wait, it's trying to do the same thing apparently. Ooh, okay. I see. Oh wait, so now this thing's moving. But the thing is that is that thing turned on? It is. Yeah, I guess the way the circuit is like being done here is kind of iffy. Well, not really iffy, but it's like when there was like that other train that was just eager having to like follow up with all this. It was staying in the middle of the track like that, and it's like what are you doing? What are you doing? It's like I didn't want you to do that. Interesting. See, now it's having to go to a nearby stacker, which is that one right there. Then when that depletes again, I think this one's gonna have to go again. Apparently this guy has not moved at all, which is probably because he's the farthest away from all of this. So the thing is I'm trying to aim for this here is that we want to have only one train. Well, obviously we're only having one train going up because it's train limit of one. But because of the circuit network having to set off the condition for all the trains, they try to do the same task at the same time. But they can't. Despite there being a train limit here. It's quite flabbergasting here. Yeah, see, that one tried to move, and that one tried to move, but this one didn't even give a shit. And it's on automatic, has fuel, it's supposed to be doing its stuff, so... See, like, it's still, like, it was doing its thing with, Ooh, no. Oh, wait, hold on, why is it stopping? It's actually supposed to be keep on going. That's not supposed to stop. Ooh, that's not what I was expecting. I mean, it didn't stop at the intersection. At least there was that, but like that signal was relevant to, I guess, right here, I think. Yes, when it's sitting right here, the signal's red. Oh, you know what? It's probably because it needs to have this here. That was why. Well, I found another flaw in my design. Well, I think that's mainly because of I guess this here station here, I think, maybe. Actually, no, it's for all of it. Like, who am I kidding? You see, like, stuff like that was correct. So maybe I now did it right. Yeah, it was probably still like the case of, well, I mean, I'm kind of on the right track with the circuit condition. But I wonder if there was like a second one that we can also do. To make it so that only one train is being sent to the place. Alright, let's see if it's going to do like a proper loop around, and if I need to try and fix this afterwards. See, that one's starting to move. That's when it's placed. This one should still keep move. Wait. Excuse me. You're supposed to keep going. Oh, wait, that thing's blinking right there. Like, oh, noes. Something broke. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board with this one here. Ah, jeez. Or maybe I have to entirely scrap the stacker idea and just go for like a pre-made rails instead. And then having to designate a spot for like in a block somewhere for it to be where they sit. I just need to fix the signals. Cuz like that was not supposed to stop right there. It was supposed to keep on going. Cuz there was like the added thing of this here, so I'm going to have to do some off-camera testing for this one. Besides, I think we want to go ahead and end it off here anyways today. So, yeah, I got more rails to... I got some rails I need to be fixing. Because, like clearly in this demonstration, it's like, it was stopping, like, right here, which I would assume for, like, other corners as well, so that has to be fixed. And that's also to keep in mind about, like, you know, the drop-off area that I have, like, right here. That also needs to have some, like, relevant, like, signals to go with it, so... that has to be looked into. But yeah, that's going to have to be it for me today. So, so for scheduling is going to be a bit different. That being, I'm going to go ahead and try having to go about streaming on Wednesdays and Saturdays now. No, sorry, brain fart. But not incorrect. What I meant to say was Saturday and Sundays, then Tuesday, Wednesdays. I kind of had like a thing with like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then one on Sunday. But I decided I'm going to go ahead and do them in like in chunks of like twos, pretty much. So yeah, we're going to resume more of this tomorrow, which is probably going to be more freaking rail testing, I guess. But I'm gonna try to do a bunch of it off camera as much as I can, just so that we can get to the good stuff and make everything all solidified with this here. But if worse comes to worse, then I'll just use the pre-made rail book that we have, and I have to do the whole stacker idea by having trains sit in a different spot somewhere in some weird fashion or something. Because I do like the idea of having them like sit within like the main line, like right here, right? When they're not being in use. So because I like that idea. Because again, like here goes the like demonstration here. They're going over here and they're having to drop this off, and then oh, this guy's sitting right here. Like, why is it? It shouldn't do that. Oh, you know what? I think the issue is that like it's looking ahead over at this signal right here, when really it should be like right here. So I think that was more of a design issue of it. Wait, now you're signaling red. Why is it red? You should be able to go forward. Because oh no, wait, are you reading this? I wonder if it's reading that. Also, there's like a lot more activity with this thing here now. Let's see. Well, yeah, it says blue here now. I wonder if I need to have like one sitting right here. Because there was the idea of, well, let's see here. I'm kind of confused with the design of this here. I like how it's about to end, and yet I'm still curious about fixing this. I mean, I really am. Like this is kind of like a annoying freaking thing to having to figure out. It's really puzzling as to why it's doing that. Oh, now it's moving? Ooh. Oh, shit. That'd be why. I'm trying to back it up. I can't. Look at the bots trying to repair this. Oh god, no. I don't see any fuel. I'm gonna have to snipe it off of a different thing here. Uh-oh. Okay, well, at least you stopped. Okay, whoa. It's... Okay, so I was right. What the hell? Okay, well, no, I guess I was right with having to have that there then. Wait, no, there needs to be like a chain signal right here having to read this here. If it's crossing over. Oh, now it says blue. A lot of the rail signals are like messed up. That's something I need to fix for next time. Hang on, I think I probably... Oh, it's just an autosave. Oh, it was right before when it happened. All right. All right, 2? All right, it was back before everything like screwed up. But I guess everything was like all set to this here. Okay, we'll save here. Okay, let's go and end this for real now. Okay, because like that's something we need to fix for next time. So I will be back tomorrow. It's not listed for like on the schedule, but I'll mention that like on Twitter and shit like that, so there's no confusion here. But yeah, that's going to be what's going to be going on, and you'll see in due time. So, yep, that'll be it for me here. So heading on out. So thank you all for tuning in with my rail shenanigans of design and whatnot. More to come. So see y'all later.